All right, we are live, and the New York Mets are going to win the 2025 World Series. You motherfuckers didn't see that one coming, did you? But you know what? The vibes are going to be remarkably low today. So we're just going to fucking throw everyone on their head. Someone's going to probably crash their car listening to that as they turn on the podcast for the first time. I apologize for you and your insurance company ahead of time. But you know what, boys? To have like those like crazy wild, oh my God, they caught fire the last week of the season and made it all the way through October. You need to fucking crack a couple legs along the way and just have like the most putrid week of a contending team you've ever seen. So what are we going to do? We're going to watch baseball. We're going to cry. And most importantly, we're going to drink our Coors Light because we need something to chill us out during this streak where the online discourse has reached a point where I haven't seen it like this because we usually haven't been this good and then this bad. So you need someone to help you chill out. You get your Coors Light when the action is hot on the field or online. Choose chill and grab a Coors Light. When you have Coors Light on hand, even the most heated of rivals can agree on something. Coors Light is the perfect beer for game day. Reach for the only beer as cold as the Rockies for game day chill. Coors Light. When the mountains turn blue, it's as cold as the Rockies. So again, get your Coors Light, pop them open for the first inning. Is tonight going to be the pitching that stinks? Is it going to be the hitting that stinks? Is it going to be the bullpen that stinks? You don't know, but as long as you have a Coors Light, you have your partner to get you through it all. That's when I drink my Coors Light before, during, after Mets games. So New York, choose chill, choose Coors Light. Proud partners of the New York Mets. Quick Coors Light delivery straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/believe. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, boys. Now let's get to the stats that I wanted to quote from this week. Worst records in Major League Baseball since June 13th. The Mets are fourth on that list behind the Rockies, Twins, Nationals, and just above the White Sox. That was 2 days ago, that stat. And then I don't know if you guys saw this stat from Thursday night's game. The New York Mets are the only MLB team in the modern era to score 4+ runs in the first inning, but have nobody reach base the rest of the game and end up losing. We are in a pit of misery, and I see no way out other than just stop watching and just hope we turn on playoff baseball in October. The Mets are there. Kevin, you have the floor.
For the younger generation, welcome to the closest thing I think that you can feel since September 2007. It's not quite the same because of that stat you just mentioned where they've just been flat out losing for a long time. But in terms of a team, and here's why I'm still sick in the fucking head. I don't think I've ever watched a team that I think, all jokes aside, what you said there, Clem, I think that team could win the World Series if everyone played up to their potential. It's abundantly clear that's never going to happen. But usually when Mets teams are bad, they're bad. When they're good. And we're kind of in, we know it. I've never been like, any given night, if everyone hits pitches to their ability, we could beat absolutely anybody. We know that's not going to happen, and we're probably going to lose, but there is this weird potential. And all of September 2007, I remember sitting there going, I remember Francesa. Dog and Francesa had a conversation, and it was the most honest I've ever heard them and the most wrong they've ever been. Mike was like, Dog, do you think they're going to make it? And this is like halfway through September. And Dog was like, I think so. And Mike was like, yeah, me too. They've shown too much and they're good enough. And I just think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And the last few weeks would dictate I'm going to be wrong, but I think they're going to make it. And then obviously they didn't. And everyone laughed and it was the worst ever. And I'm Mike right now going like, I don't know, a game and a half. We've been doing nothing but losing ground rapidly. We probably won't. But there's this part of me that's just like starting today. If all three of those facets of baseball could click, they could somehow tread water and make it. I don't know. I'm trying here. I think it's over. I think when you go from 5.5 up to 10 back over the course of a few months, when you're just constantly losing, I don't know. It just feels like we're just going to get caught and passed, and it'll probably be like a 1-game difference. But I don't know. I just go back and forth between like, all you got to do is play just okay for like 2 weeks and you'll probably be all right. Like I don't think the Reds or the Giants are going to go undefeated. I think they'll probably play all right. And if you just play a little bit more all right with a 1.5 game cushion, you should be fine. But I can't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I've never felt like this before. Like, even in our worst, what's the stat? Like, over the last 80 games, we're like 15 games under 500. So, like, there's that's such a sample size. There's so much proof there. But in between that, at our lowest moments, there's that 5-game winning streak. We had our conversation about how we always beat, minus the Brewers, we play well against the top teams. 10 days ago, Phillies fans were accusing the Mets of cheating because they beat them so often. That wasn't 2 months ago. It was 2 weeks ago. So even in this, like, just continual decline, there are these moments, these weeks, these series, these homestands, away trips, these chunks of the game where I'm like, all you got to do is go like a little bit over 500 for 2 weeks. This team can do that. This team on paper can do that, but they can't in reality. It's like somebody has the reality stone. Someone's got the reality stone, Clem, and is just rewinding these games and making it. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Someone's just, I mean, they should either just be terrible by now or it should have clicked by now. The fact that we're still doing this, like,
we are a dream to the teams catching us. Imagine all those times we were chasing teams in a wild card race. Yeah. It's like they would never lose. We lose every fucking night. The Reds are like, oh my God, here's a chance to get a game. The Giants like, here's a chance to get a game. We're a fucking gift to these teams. And I have one more stat. The last time the Mets suffered 3 6+ game losing streaks in the same season was 1993.
Right, like
the worst team money could buy
year ever. Yeah,
and the Mets have done that in June, August, and September.
Doesn't that make like no sense? Like, some of these stats point towards we should be having one of our worst seasons ever, and yet it's like we would be in the playoffs right now.
The other stat I saw was no other team in the history of baseball has finished the season with 2 guys in the top 3 for RBIs and doesn't make the playoffs.
Now with the top 6 making the playoffs, bro. Like, it shouldn't even be a question now.
I've never seen a team so textbook throw your glove out on the field and just think you're going to win, because it's got to come from the top for Mendoza, because all he's saying is we're going to figure it out. They're all right, whatever. And like, I know you're going to say the players on the field are the ones who have to play. There's no voice in that clubhouse that's turning around and being like, what the fuck is, like, we need the who's the crazy guy that was on the team that called the team out?
Tommy Pham.
Yes. We need a Pham. We need an asshole, or we need a Drew Gilbert who's getting choked out in the dugout and like infusing energy into this team, because I don't want to see Cedric Mullins, Acuna. He's just running out random lineups at this point, trying to find some sort of spark. Meanwhile, we know where the spark needs to come from, and it's the starting pitching. We are relying on rookie pitchers who are up for a cup of coffee to have us go on a run, because that's the only way we're going anywhere. It is insane.
I will say, everyone wants Mendoza's head. Everyone wants Stearns' head. Like, the Stearns thing drives me crazy, especially if we're going to, like, Monday morning quarterback signings like Minaya. Like, everybody was cool with that. Everybody was excited about that. Yes. Going into the season, everybody was excited about the team we put together, the rotation, the bullpen. He tried at the deadline. He's gone through injuries. He's plugging and playing. Like, I almost think Stearns is doing a great job, despite the fact that there's been a ton of injuries and a team that's just not fucking trying. So I don't think those guys deserve blame. Of course, when things are going this bad, everyone gets blame, but I just don't think it's like their fault. I will say that it seems like the Scherzer DeGrom era was like too uptight and too like hierarchy, you know? And then when it became Lindor's team and things were working, that was all gravy. It's OMG, it's smiles, we're family men, we're here to play the game and just be good people and all that shit. When that's working, it's great. When it's not working, if I had to guess, I would bet that if there was someone like Drew Gilbert on this team who wanted to be a fucking maniac and choke me and let's go crazy, I bet they would feel a little like, we can't do that. That's not this team. That's not this locker room. Guys like Lindor, Soto are kind of stoic and quiet, and they don't want the fucking circus type shit, if I had to guess. And maybe we need that. Maybe we need a circus. Maybe we need a crazy guy, and that locker room is just not comprised to do that. But, bro, all of these things, how many things have we gone through this year? We're blaming Chavez. We're blaming Mendoza. We're blaming Stearns. We have these things that we try to make as scapegoats, and it's like, but when they play well, nobody talks about that. So
it's not even blaming him so much as it's like, he last year was like up for manager of the year and all this stuff. And then this year, everybody wants his head. That same thing happened to Buck, except he won manager of the year. But the difference is I didn't want Buck on, and I trusted him to make the decisions in game to put us in a position to win. Mendoza has been pressing the wrong buttons for months. on a
there's
regular
button to
basis.
push, bro.
The one button is the Helsley button that
I
we're
know.
like still in the eighth thing. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
that button needs to be
That's
off the
what
table.
And that's the button that worked this week. He threw
yeah,
two
that's the
six.
button that worked this week of all the buttons he pushed.
You can, again, everybody.
If we miss the playoffs by 4 games, I can point to very easily at least 4 games that he has made the wrong decision that has led to a loss.
But that's going to be like any MLB. Like when you're 15 under for over half the season, everybody gets the blame. But like, there's going to be those moments throughout the year, and a good team can kind of win enough to hide those mistakes. And like,
that's the problem. They think they're a good team, but they're not playing like a good team.
Listen, on paper, they are a good team. Like that's why I can't give Stearns too much trouble, because it's like, if you looked at that on paper going into the season, you'd be like, this is a fine team.
Yes.
And like we said, for how long early in the year, we're like, they're just a good team. They're not going to be great, but if every single night you can't get, like, I can't believe that all 3 facets of the game have never gotten on the same page for more than like one series all year. That's just like, I don't know if you can blame anybody other than the players or stupid baseball luck, where it's just like nothing clicked ever over the course of 162.
I mean, at some point, we have to then reverse engineer and say, if it's not the manager, it's not the GM, which again, I'm with you
The
on
players.
that. If it's the players, why are these players giving us these results? And it's like, and then it comes back to like, is this guy not giving his all? Is he not care? Are they too loose? And then that comes back to, all right, we need someone to light a fire on them. If it's not going to be Mendoza, it has to be Gibbons. Like, that's what we thought he was going to be here for, as well as like having the in-game experience and all that stuff. We've said it for like 5 off seasons. I mean, we said it when we started having hope with this team. It's like, it does feel like there needs to be a Ray Knight here or a Keith Hernandez. You know, you need to get that guy. Juan Soto, we got Juan Soto. He's not going to be that guy. Luckily, he's going to be Juan Soto. So he's set. But we need, I don't know if we need a guy who's going to lead them, stir shit up. But it has felt like this core has been like this for a very long time now, right? We've been in this seat in September. When was the A series? September 15th? Like, it's right around now. And we're just like, there's something missing with this team. And they're just not adding it.
If you look to 24, they're not.
Well, 24, that's all it was fucking, is it
Vibes
Iglesias?
and like,
Iglesias, Ray Knight? Like, I don't fucking get it.
Maybe we should have kept Jose Iglesias. Maybe we need Candelita back.
Like, similar energy guy to like the Drew Gilbert thing is Jesse Winker, who left the team and just seems like it just falls apart. It's like, is the team splintered? Are they just like Juan Soto goes and sits with Marte to have his 40-40 season, and then everyone else is just like off to the side doing whatever they're doing? And I'm not faulting him. I hope he gets the 40-40. But like, they're killing him in the broadcast for stealing third base in a game we're losing like 8-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Ohtani was stealing bases and blowouts last year. Who gives a fuck?
I don't care. I'm not saying that that's the reason.
I cannot with that. That is not the problem here.
Correct.
That's not the issue. And like, and again, you know, if it is a Winker, like that, they got that guy. He just got hurt and couldn't, like, I don't know. The
issue is that they score 4 runs in the first inning and they go, we're good. We're back. We're gonna whatever.
We can't keep giving up the runs in the first inning. It falls on the starting pitching. Like, that's really what this season
25
is.
straight after that. And yes, David Peterson let up 3 runs. Reed Garrett comes in and looked like absolute dog shit. But you need to find some other way, and this is what Buck was great at, to ignite energy into the game. They're stealing bases at a friggin' unbelievable clip. You need to get them on base. You need to hit and run. You need to bunt. You need to do whatever you need to do.
They're doing that. They are stealing bases. They're being aggressive. They're not, like, it's just about results. It's not, I mean, I'm sure there is some level of vibes, energy, fire, all these things we're saying. But I really believe, after all my years of watching sports, I think these are things that we make up in our head because we need a scapegoat. We need something to blame. We need to justify it, when I just think it always comes down to execution.
And the execution is the starting pitching. Sean Manaea has a 7 ERA since the August 1st, and he's gone 5 innings or less, pretty much in like every single start. Like, he gives them nothing. And
meanwhile, Aaron Nola's the same guy, and then he's fucking lights out against us. It's like,
Senga was so bad when he came off the IL, we had to fucking demote him to the minor leagues. Like, think about that. Like, your 2 best pitchers going into the season, one of them's giving you nothing. The other one's so bad in the second half, he has to go to AAA. Frankie Montas, just scrap that out. He gave you nothing. It just falls on this. Griffin Canning tears his Achilles. We just forgot about that.
Like, at this point, people are not going to like this, but I almost think Stearns has done a good job considering guys that either just shit the bed or didn't perform, and I guess you or got injured. I'm sure you could say, hey, you should have seen that Mania was old and going to get injured and Senga was inexperienced, whatever you want to say. But like, if those guys even played decent, I think you're like,
if they played bad, we're good. Like,
yeah.
Like some not a 7 ERA and like 7 starts giving you nothing.
So like, what can you do other than be like, hey, don't be the worst, be bad, and we're good.
Even Clay Holmes, I think, has hit like what his expectation on the season was. As frustrating as he's been, okay, he hit his innings limit. It's an ERA close to 4. He's a starting pitcher 5. That's what we kind of expected. Things you can't move him to the bullpen because all the other fucking starting pitchers stink.
And this comes down to one guy, the starting pitching, Eric Chavez. What is he going to do to get these guys to start pitching well? And listen, we're Hefner guys. We've been Hefner guys for fucking ever. I had to hear about Eric fucking Chavez in the comment section for like 10 weeks straight. And listen, the offense sucked. The pitching has been bad for just as bad as long as the offense has, if not worse when it's all said and done. I mean, 4 innings pitched is that is the title of the season. If they were releasing DVDs, 4 innings pitched, 3 earned, 2 inherited runners score is the fucking 2025 Mets right there. It's what it is right now.
Only the Rockies have thrown less 6-inning outings.
Jesus. What do you want from Mendoza though? Like, because when you're a baseball lifer, like I guarantee a guy like Mendoza is absolutely appalled. What you want him to do? Be like, my guys suck. They can't pitch out of the 4th fucking inning. Like, I just don't think you can say that when you know it's happening every single night and you know it's going to continue to happen. So you can't completely throw your team under the bus.
Look how people bring up the Terry Collins clip from 2016. It's like, I'm going to find the right guys to play here. Then they just forget that they lost that same game.
And they never did. Yeah.
He chased Mania down the tunnel to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're giving away the ball game yet again. But, and I will say this, he didn't push anybody earlier on in the season. He'd be like 5 innings. All right, you're out of there. Good job. Like, pat on the ass. Here we go. And now they don't know how to pitch deeper into the games. And now they physically cannot.
There's no button to push. They collapsed
last year,
the 3rd
like
inning.
Severino was like, you're going to get 7 innings. David Peterson, we're going to push you 7 innings. Clay Holmes, Canning, all those guys were like 5 innings. Senga is a perfect example of why his ERA was so low, because after the 4th or 5th inning, he's like, all right, you're getting tired, get out of there. Yeah, now it's late in the season and they are tired.
You can't forget that I think it's abundantly clear that Senga and Mania are injured.
Bad.
So like you're talking about pitchers who Montas I throw out. That's like there's no defending that. That was a bad knock against Stearns. Everything else are guys that he got and are either injured and out or are continuing to pitch injured. On top of then you have some regular ups and downs or some regression. And it's, I don't know. It's like
Clay Holmes, you can't push because he hit the wall and he keeps collapsing around 70 or so pitches. David Peterson's already hit his career high in innings pitched, and you're starting to see that. Ironically, the rookies are the ones that we keep pushing. Like Nolan McLean's going deeper into games. Tom went 6 innings. Sproul went 6 innings.
And I you can say everything that we're saying here means, okay, this GM assembled a team that was reliant upon a guy who's never pitched that many innings, relying upon someone who might get injured. I get that, but like, I do think there's an element of baseball where that can happen to anyone. And I think there's sometimes it's a whole season of that's baseball, Susan, where it's
he admitted that he built them to throw 5 innings. He's like, it just so happens that they're only throwing 4 innings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think that's the wrong, like, I think that is the modern game. I don't think there's anybody who's like, oh, we're gonna pitch 7 every single night. I almost think that's the way
you could even go back to the free agent class last year. Like, who do you want them to get? It's like Blake Snell was injured for a majority of the season. Corbin Burns blew his arm out. He's got $200 million owed to him. I mean, Max Fried's been really good this year, but he's been off on the second half. It's like the same shit.
And even like the Pete Crow Armstrongs and some of those
who's
things,
also been regressing for the last 2 months. That's baseball.
Like a lot of the stuff from Chavez to PCA to the old free agents to the trade deadline guys that we did not get and did get, like they're all hindsight's 2020.
Cedric Mullins stinks.
That's the one. In the
and Harrison Bader, of course. I'm like, what did we do? Did we like kill his dog on the way out the door? Why do players who leave the Mets come back and hate the Mets to a fever pitch? Dude's hitting 700 against us.
I can tell you why. That's our fan base. That's for sure. People like Frank. There are guys who love.
No, but he wanted to come back.
I know, but when you don't and you're gone, I think there's an element of like, fuck these guys because of New York City, Frank Fleming, the fan base, like all that sort of shit. When you find a home elsewhere, I think there's inherent.
I hate how perfect he fits in there too.
He also lost his job at Tyrone Taylor last season too. It's not like
that was my guy last year. I can't even.
It's not like we let Babe Ruth walk out the fucking door. It's
no,
like,
but I agree with that. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure we all said it on this show. Like when we were like, we need a bat who's like a spark plug and athletic and a glove guy.
They tried that with Jose Siri and he broke his fucking leg in April.
These are things that and you know. We're playing in the big leagues, so that means, hey, you signed a bunch of guys who all got injured. That means you did a bad job. But
I forgot about AJ Minter, who was really good in April. Then,
that one's tough,
bro. If you look at the rotation and the bullpen, and then even the moves they made for the bullpen afterwards, like all of these should be you did your job.
It's like remember Max Kranick, he was great, and then he blew his arm out. It's like
a lot of injuries. I don't know.
You'll never hear me blame Stearns, but I do think that there's something to be said about like Beatty is crushing the baseball, so obviously we're going to put Acuna at second base. And then Acuna makes the play, and everyone just forgets because we won that game. And it's like, yeah, he would have been in the game in that situation anyway because he's a defensive replacement.
Yeah, they should have just done the
shit like that where it's like a head scratcher. Leaving Starling Marte in to run. Putting Mauricio in as a pinch runner when he gets no jump and isn't like scoring. It's like but Pete Alonso could have gone first to third on that.
Yeah, but that's also just like Ronnie did a bad job.
Right. That's not preparing him to run the bases when you're putting him in there.
Yeah. I mean, I do think at some point, like, you have to be able to do some of the basics. Like, in that moment, was anybody saying don't pinch run Ronnie for Pete? I'm pretty sure everyone was okay with that.
Of course not.
Right. And then he gets a bad read.
The bigger issue is using Acuna
to put in Ronnie. It's like, well,
the bigger issue is using Acuna to pinch hit. It's like, why were we using Acuna to pinch hit when he's a pinch runner?
Yes, right.
That's the bigger issue.
There's definitely some stuff like that. But even like bring back to that game was not that long ago. And
it was
the
Monday.
Diaz moment was like, Diaz is amazing and like, what a fucking win and spirits are high. And
can we just take a moment and just acknowledge how fucking crazy that, like, it's almost like the baseball guys,
losing streak.
You guys never win this game. We're going to give you this one, and then we're going to make you lose all the rest for the week. Because that game, they've lost, and it's the shoe game. It got a fucking name instantly. It's crazy how fucking
flu game and the shoe game.
It was the most Metsy game of all time with Edwin Diaz, who is like the most Metsy player of all time. And somehow we won it. And that was like the end of like our happy. It's like, all right, we just won one more. We got the series against the Reds. And then, hey, we've been hot against the Phillies. And then this season, though, the theme of this season is it's so frustrating. Every time you think you're out of it, you're right back in and then you're deeper, right? Like, are we at rock bottom now? Like, where's rock bottom?
Where's rock bottom?
Do you know how many saves Edwin Diaz has since the trade deadline?
Don't even.
God, how many?
Like 3.
It's exactly 3. He had 1 in August. He has 2 this month.
And we had 8,000 runs scored in August, and we couldn't get a save in that entire time.
I don't think he has a blown save in that entire stretch either. He just no blown saves.
Yeah,
he just doesn't have a chance to.
When you say all of these things back to back to back, I don't want to let him off the hook, but is this the year where we eventually look back and be like, 2025, we were just fucked. We were fucked with injuries. We were fucked with luck. We like played well at the wrong times, collapsed at the wrong times. Like, it's just destined that we don't make it. You can't say that right now, but I'm just wondering if looking back, if next year things click and the year after that we win the World Series and there's all like everything was going this way except for this one little blip, it might just be this ridiculous outlier, bad luck, bad performance season. But while you're in it, you can't. Who fucking knows? Maybe this is just going to be this way forever. I don't know. Right now, do an ad read and then everyone predict where do you think they end up right now. This is our prediction.
15 games left.
I love this. This is the perfect way to start this. There's nothing like a crisp fall night at the ballpark.
There you go.
But trying to get there, brutal. Well, you can agree on that one. You're stuck in a queue. Prices jump at checkout. You're logged in mid-click. All you want is to be in the stands, beer in hand, yelling with the crowd. The Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic MLB tickets on time and at the best prices. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. Sorry about that. I was looking at tickets for, what are you going to talk about, Clem? You're going to try to get us to go to a Mets game? Oh, no, we'll go to the Yankees. Not so fast, my friends. We're going to go to a baseball game. We're going to go to the Savannah Bananas. I'm going to look for a team that actually can play baseball and they can make it fun. So we're going to go to the Savannah Bananas.
What did Papa Clem say?
He said, he goes, I watched the City Field Bananas, is what he said when I told him about the Savannah Bananas. He goes, I already watched the City Field Bananas. So firefighters at Savannah Bananas in the home of the evil empire, Yankee Stadium. Anyone who's watched Savannah Bananas on TV knows how much fun it is. It's incredible. The kids love it. My buddy went to Fenway. All his kids were hooked. He's like an old school baseball fan. I'm like, are you mad right now that they like Banana Bowl? He goes, no, honestly, they just had so much fun. It's like watching the Globetrotters, and then you can introduce them to real life baseball. Everything sucks with the Mets. So I'm looking at firefighters at Bananas tickets right here. You go to the bleachers, $51 a pop. Now you go to how much Savannah Bananas tickets cost. They are crazy expensive, but luckily I got my tickets through Game Time. So they have $51 bleacher seats. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets or baseball tickets in general with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BELIEVE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BELIEVE, BELIEVE, for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. And I believe even our one, Kevin Clancy, is going to the Evil Empire House, the Death Star, for Sunday, taking the kids there for a game.
No, you know how much I love my kids? That's how much I love them.
And how much I hate the Mets. I'd rather you'll be watching guys doing backflips and turning double plays instead of the Mets, striking out with the bases loaded, no outs.
Stern should go sign the guy on the fucking stilts. Throw him out there. Literally try anything. By the way, Meek, this is why I said I want a Walker Buehler. I will try anything. Anything. Okay.
Anything.
All right. So what did you take out? Yeah. What was your thing?
You said 19, right, Meek?
15 games left.
15.
You want me to read
All
the
right.
schedule off, or you got
Already within the 17. I always think in terms of 17 because of September 07.
Yeah.
7 up, 17 to play. We are 1.5 up with 15 to play. Let me see. Let's see real quick. Like what are the Reds and the Giants?
the Reds have the A's this weekend, and the Dodgers have the Giants have the Dodgers.
And are they what's like their last 10 games? Those two.
The Reds are 6-4, and the Giants are 7-3.
All right. Where do we end up? Do we make the playoffs?
What
Or
are
no?
we? Like 1-9?
3-7.
3-7. That's honestly that's better than I thought. I
Yeah,
would have
it's
guessed
better than I
1-9.
thought.
I would have guessed the shoe game, and that's it. Do they make it?
Kev, I remember that Francesa rant you talked about because it was like,
he was like,
these fucking guys believe it. They hate the Mets, Like that gave me hope. That gave me hope, and I did see this comment earlier in the chat. Who was it from? It was from Mike Laverde. He goes, "My 44-year-old brother texted me that welcome to 2007."
Yep.
And
It's 2007, except it's like there's such a big sample of them playing bad that I can't quite compare it. Like 2007 was just like horrendous for 4 weeks. The rest of the season was all right. It's been bad for a while, but the feeling of I know you're better than this. Why can't you just win a couple games? Is 2007 to a T.
Yeah, in 07, I was like, we're winning the World Series in 07. I never was like, oh, we're definitely winning in 25. Until today when I started the podcast with it. And you motherfuckers better clip that if it actually comes to pass.
I'm going to be optimistic and say they go 8-7 in these next 15 games.
And you think that and you think they'll make it with that?
I don't think they make it with that. That's the other part.
Okay.
I was going to say 9-6 gets you 85 wins. That's a bubble.
8-7 is 84. So it's like, think of it this way. We have 15 games left. 3 of those games will be started by McLean. 3 of those games will be started by Tong. 3 of them will be started by Sproat. Trying to get 6 wins out of that.
We are like putting our rookies who have no experience.
This is our only chance to win.
Those kids have every right to go out there and shit the fucking bed. And if that happens and people jump down their throat, fuck you. Because those kids have been asked to have already answered the bell in my mind. Certainly McLean, definitely a little bit of Tong. Now Sproat's here. If they go out there and have a clunker because they're 22 or have had 2 starts, that's okay. And anybody who jumps down their throat is the problem with our fan base.
Remember, we're not calling them up to be saviors. It's like, well, they have to be saviors.
Literally being
like this is as close to a savior as we're asking. Because if we even make the playoffs, that's our top 3 starters.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
And that's also, we'll take it a step further after we decide whether we're going to make it or not. I'm also I used to say, I think if we make it, we can win the World Series. I think if we make it, we get swept. Like, I think at this point, it's just a matter of like, do you have the pride to get there or not? I just don't know. I just don't think we can make noise.
think the most Mets outcome of this is we go 4-2 in these games versus the Padres and the Rangers, and then we just lose 2 out of 3 to the Nats because that's how it usually works.
Yeah.
So it's a 6-3
We will be in
home stand.
attendance for the Nats. Barstool at the ballpark.
Barstool at the ballpark. Get your
Yeah.
tickets now. Barstool at the ballpark.
It's Rangers, Padres, Nats.
Nats, yeah.
That's
Nats.
our
DeGrom
last home
versus
stand.
Tong tonight. So you're counting one of those as a Tong start.
Bro,
If Jacob
if you
DeGrom
don't
perfect
think-
games ups, I will not bat an eye.
If you don't think that Jacob DeGrom is striking out 14 tonight, it's
It's going to be so vintage, and then it's like we're like Cricket from Always Sunny, who just gets progressively uglier, and then you just see like your hot girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and you're like, God damn it.
Do you want them to play Simple Man for him?
He is gonna gas
Oh my
us.
God.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what? I feel like if they really play shitty, the fan base may just turn on the team and just start cheering for DeGrom.
Cheering for DeGrom. That's sadly a possibility.
I'll go you one step further. Play the fucking closer's entrance music for the Rangers when he comes in too to close us out. Like just fucking.
We're now a Rangers club.
Play Hell's Bells for him.
Yeah. Play Hell's Bells from. He'd be like I said this like growing up. It was like fuck the Phillies, fuck the Braves, and then like I had a moment of epiphany. I'm like, they're just trying to win. Fuck the Mets. They're the teams that are giving us all this pain. So
just
Phil, 8-7, they don't get in.
Yeah.
Kyle, did you say 9-6?
So the last time we tried to do end of season win totals, I said 86. I don't think that's possible.
I mean, they'd have to win 10.
They'd have to go 10-5. I think
10-5
they
not
get to be the bubble team. I think it's going to end up we're playing the Marlins with like skin in the game.
Yeah.
And then we really have to sweat it out like 2007.
At this point, going from 5 games up to 10 games back, this whole second half and really like 2/3 has just been slowly losing ground. And I think we needed the season to end like today. I think 2 more weeks we'll just lose. Like we don't have much more ground to lose. It's a game. So do you think we're going to lose a game in the standings over the next 2 weeks? I do. Unfortunately. Like I just think it's just too long of a season and too much of a decline that we might even play okay, but we're going to lose ground because we just have been losing ground since June.
I mean, I guess if I said we won the World Series, I guess I'm saying we're making the fucking playoffs. I don't know how they could do one without the other. I'd love for them to try to figure out a way to do that, unfortunately. So I guess I'll say, yeah, but I'm going to go we're going to go 7-8 and make this is going to, if they do it, it's going to be in the most, it's going to be earning every fucking inning. You're going to feel every ounce of pain along the way. Reds are going to take leads and we're going to feel like the season's over 1,000 different times. It's just going to be brutal. Like it's not going to be easy if it happens at all. Who's the manager of the Giants, Phil?
Bob Melvin, who was responsible for the Padres choking in 2023 when they had all that talent.
Okay, that's good to know. I do feel like Frank Cohen is going to just if you put Mendoza, Frank Cohen, and Melvin in a room, Frank Cohen
is walking out. Yeah,
exactly. So that scares me a lot. Are Reds fans loving Frank Cohen, or are they like fuck this guy? Like I want to know the temperature of the other fan bases right now. I mean, I guess they're just moving up the stands, so they have no reason.
They're having the time of their life.
Yeah,
I think
the
They
team
are
ahead of you
on
losing
the
every
ecstasy
single
of
night.
we're on our way up and this team can't figure it out across town.
I remember saying, and I still stand by this, and it's not really shade to the Reds. It's just a matter of where they are as an organization. Like going into this year, I was thinking about competing with the Dodgers and the Padres and the Phillies and those teams. I was not thinking about the Cincinnati Reds. If the Cincinnati Reds beat you to make the playoffs, you really didn't in 2025. Maybe they're on their way up, eventually look back and say this team is great. But right now, as they're comprised and what their experience is, if they beat you and you never deserve to be there in the first place. It's a weird season of I'm the most frustrated I've ever been because I know they can play better than this, and the most acceptance I've ever had because it's just it's been a long time and we're bad, and this team's not even that good, and they're going to pass us, so we don't deserve it.
So this might be partially because this season has been such a fucking quagmire, and I'm most expecting the worst stuff or the most painful stuff to happen. But I also think it's just getting older. Like if I'm like, oh fuck, I can't believe I got to fucking rake the leaves again today. It's fucking September, dude. This is what happens. It's
how it
September.
goes.
It's gonna get. I hate the cold weather, man. You live in New York. It's gonna get cold in September. I'm a Mets fan. Almost always, September is going to suck.
Yep.
The few times are our most magical seasons. There's 3 of them that I can remember in my life. Was we either had clinched or we 15 had that magical run. Got into the playoffs. Last year was obviously, but last year was no fucking picnic, right? Go back to the text message we were sending. It was not fun. So
no, but you know what the difference is?
Now.
October is like when we got fucked by the Padres, that really sucked. So I can't say this every time, but if you just make it, you're playing with like a little bit of house money, where it's just like, did we really think we're gonna win the World Series? I didn't, at least. I didn't plan like we're winning the World Series this year. So if you lose in the playoffs, it's like that was probably what I thought was gonna happen. Just making it there. Like, I just remember having so much fun last year. It was stressful, but the aliens and the run is fun. This is not fun because this is like you should be there and you're not. That's embarrassing. That's stressful. That's pressure. Once you make it, I think you kind of like release a little bit. And that's where I have a little bit of hope for the team that they would just be like, exhale. And as a fan, I'd be like, all right, we made it. Now, if we lose, like there's a bunch of teams losing the playoffs, and that's just how it goes. Not making it is what feels like a step backwards and embarrassing and stressful. So
we never make it back-to-back seasons.
Yeah,
and every year they bring it up. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen to this team. Like, this team's built to go back. And then all of a sudden you're like, this is insane. I think we've only done it like 3 times. And one of which being the 2016 one play-in game. It's like,
I think at 16, it's 99, 2000.
It's only, if you don't count the 16, it's one time. Bosco says this every time we talk about the Mets. It's his go-to line.
He loves talking about that.
Yep.
And
he's actually rooting for them to lose. He doesn't have to stream, actually.
But there's also like for the vast majority of these franchises, it was like you had to win the league. You know what I mean? Like you had to win the division. Now that there's 2 wild cards, we can't make it back to fucking back. Like, come on.
And the money, just the amount of money that, and I know it's like, this is not the team that I think Cohen wants, Stearns wants. I think we're like a year or 2 away from being like, we're going to have a ton of money, but it's like built the way we want it. I think it's just the way things started when he took over to now. Nonetheless, though, that's my biggest thing I'm looking forward to, or not even looking forward to. I'm interested to see if the Mets don't make the playoffs this year.
What's the shakeup?
What's Stevie going to do? Because he said, I need the fans to show up, and we showed the fuck up this year. We made Citi Field the fucking playoff atmosphere in the middle of July as we were like losing 7 of 8 games at home.
I think people are still showing up now. Like we answered the fucking call.
Yeah, come on, guys, go to Barstool, the ballpark, get the beer, keep drinking till the Mets are good and fun. Like let's I don't
think there's going to be a shake. I really don't. I don't think it's Stern's fault, and I don't think Steve Cohen thinks that. And I don't think it's Mendoza's fault either. And I think like this instability of like starting another regime, unless there's like a great coach available, manager that could like really change it. I think it'll be little shit, but.
And player-wise, where's the shakeup coming? Because you got Lindor locked down for several more years, Soto for the next like decade plus, Nemo's locked down for like another 5 years, I think.
Got to make a Pete decision.
Pete decision. Is that the shakeup? Letting him walk?
That's what I'm talking about more. I don't think he's going to be rash and fire 1,000 people. I do think there might be a firing or 2, maybe one we don't expect. I don't know. But I do think he might like get a little reckless with the spending. That might be short term. Because again, the sport is over in November 2026. Like there is going to be a hiatus. Jonah Tong might be 30 the next time he pitches after that season's over.
Right.
So we have to like I said, just move me a World Series by the end of 2026, and I'm good. But after that, I don't know when it's going to happen. And then there's going to be so much change potentially.
What was your feeling going into the 2 Giants Super Bowls? Because those teams weren't necessarily world beaters. Like, did they just get in those years and then they just went on a run? That is the poison pill in my brain of I know that this team could be good and I know what they were. That is like what is actually causing me more distress than anything else.
Well,
because if they do get in, then I'm going to convince myself all over again, and we could easily just get swept away and be like, well, that was a waste of time.
That'll be quick. That'll be 3 games, 5, whatever. Yeah. I could live with that more than this.
If we ever win the World Series, I promise you, it's not going to be a wire-to-wire 101-win team that then sweeps their way to the World Series and wins in 5. Like,
we saw that. They lost in the wild card
bullshit like this.
Yeah. Yes.
86 was like the last out, the last strike, maybe. I don't even they were on that, and they needed a fucking miracle, which I'm convinced everyone sold their soul and be like, I never need to see the Mets win again, and we're now paying the price for that curse that is placed upon the team. But yeah, it's not going to be.
Which is in my head, I'm like, fuck all those people. But right now, I'm like, I would sell my soul for and fuck those kids. Like,
I tell my children right now, be like, take them, just give me the ring.
You guys got to witness a World Series when you were 10 and 8. You're good. Like, that's it. We all win. That's it.
The thing about the 22 season, Kev, too, I honestly thought we were winning the World Series by the end of that season because it was the most magical, fun, dominant season I've ever witnessed. That's the most wins I think we've ever had since.
I didn't have fun that year. It was like dominant, but it was
the
like
Braves made it not fun. We were still pretty fun.
Great.
Until the end.
Right.
It was the Braves that made it, And I think we were in a different state. And I think baseball fans, it was still, I feel like people don't talk shit as much. It's not like as online. I think we're coming out of COVID. Everyone's just living online and going on their stuff. I think everyone's kind of like gone back to a normal-ish now. Phil is still, I think, in the gutter, man. He's still fighting his fights. And
I was gonna say, like, if I was probably Phil's age, if I was at that point in my life, like I remember my life being work, and then I went home and watched, like, that was it. Work, Mets every single night, 100 and probably 60, like 1 or 60 games. If I was still like living my life like that, I probably would have killed myself. Like, the only thing saving me is that I put a little bit of distance and I watch, I know when to take a night off. Like, at this point, I'm old enough to be like, they're losing tonight. They're losing 2 out of 3. I'm not watching this away trip, like this road trip. I know all those things. If I didn't right now,
we are on a KMS streak right now on this pod that's going on for like a good month straight. It's pretty impressive. And if you want to get dark here right now, this is about as dark as it gets. We have one guy in the chat who is like greets us. Like, we send the link out, it goes on YouTube, and Armand is the first there. Bells, and he's the whole time interacting, mixing it up in there. He consoled.
It's the year of no console for me, but I would have consoled the other night for sure.
What would have been your console if you were allowing console? Or this is to the room right now.
Well, if I definitely last night up 4-0, I would have been like, all right, at least we got like a win here. We can stop the bleeding. That would have been a console.
When they almost got no hit a month ago. Or we're going further back than that.
I mean, whenever you felt the console tug on your soul, because I think there's a lot of consoles going around people's.
There better be. There better be.
There's the near no hitter, the Brewers series.
Brewers series was tough, but it was still early enough. I don't know. It's a weird one where even it's the year of no console, but in my head I'm still feeling these things, And I still, like, every time we were down, like a series later, they were winning. There has always been a little tease to pick you back up. But I think this 4-game set with the Phillies, going into the Phillies series, I was like, we play the Phillies well, and if we do that here, anything can happen. And they just got fucking washed. This should be your console, this series. Any point along the way, 11-3, the blowing the 4-run lead, all, like, any point you console this series, I would have been fine with it. So no, Aaron Nola, Aaron Nola pitching well was probably even like in the first inning, somebody gave it a ride to the wall, and I was like, just keep hitting like that. It's going to leave the ballpark. It's Citizens Bank Park. It's Nola. He gives up home runs. We knock him around. He's given up 6 earned runs every start for the last 9 starts, and then he just shuts us out. That would have been.
We didn't even touch on the Alvarez at bat in that game, which is the worst at bat in the history of baseball.
That was legit the worst at bat I've ever seen.
That was the feeling that other fan bases get when Edwin Diaz is just like, I'm fine. I'm just going to strike everybody out. And then I was like, damn, that's what it feels like, because nobody, himself included, thought he was making contact with a single pitch.
It's so funny because as Alvarez got up, I was like, is this someone I don't think this is someone I want up right now. Like, he's not that guy, but like, he's also, he's a kind of a wild card. You never know. And it was like, no, he proved me right. He proved me right.
You knew after the first pitch how that was ending.
That was it.
McNeil changed his entire stance.
Yeah.
He went into a 2-strike approach, the likes of which I have never seen from him before. He was squatted so far down. Dude's throwing 102, so like, I don't fault him. But as soon as Alvarez came up, I was like, this is a totally different at bat.
By the way, speaking of like the shakeups, like I feel like McNeil is a guy that I'm like, I think I'm done with this experiment. We can move. I don't even know what his contract situation is, but like some of those things. Also, like whereas a couple months ago, I was like, keep all the kids. They're showing promise. Like, we got to fix that log jam. We got to get rid of some.
Mauricio is like useless. He doesn't even play anymore.
I know that like in hindsight, for sure should have moved him if you weren't going to even use him. He's still the guy that I feel like has the most, Ellie De La Cruz raw talent type. But like, we can't just have a whole bunch of guys who don't really play and some old guys who kind of suck. And like, even the Martes of the world, like, I love them, but like, if it doesn't work out now, we got to purge some of that bullshit.
McNeil is signed for $15 million next year and a $15 million club option year after, which there won't be a season. So
move him, whatever, like.
He'll be 84 when that season actually has to come up. That's when baseball will be back in our lives.
Diaz is going to opt out. Like, there's a lot of We need to stabilize.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like no relievers signed for next year, pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. So I don't know what happened on June 24th, but on June 25th, I said the team has been relegated to my second screen and undecided if I'm going to watch on mute or not. So I was already on the road to Kunsel at that point. And
that might have been
that graphic that ever since the 13th, which is like a year to the date of the Grimace game, that we've been such a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think I think we are a bad, good team. I don't think we're a good, bad team.
The 24th was when they blew a 3-0 lead to the Braves.
That's exactly what they are, though. It's like on paper, they just should be good, and they're not. They're a well-comprised team that has just never played well due to injury or luck or streaks or regression or inconsistency, whatever. Like, I think there's an alternate universe. You play the season like 100 times. I bet like 75 times they click, and 25 times they don't. And like we're in the middle of one of those.
Oh, I think my counsel would have been. Let me look this up. It would have been. So we had the 19-9 game against the Marlins, then the 11-8 fake comeback, and then when Alcantara shoved it down our throats that Sunday. I think at that point, like I was on vacation too, and I'm like, man, this is so much better than just like living it every day in my house. Like I had to go out, hit the beach at some point. Dude, this Apple Watch is the best thing I've ever bought. I just have the score there. It rumbles every time a run is scored, and then it's like, oh, it's 4-0. This game's over. Like that's just how it goes now.
My console would have been losing a series to the Nationals, who just gave out free wins to everyone. Like that's just the thing we like gloss over. It's like they lost the series to the fucking Nats.
Mine apparently was August 14th. The Braves.
That Braves one, 4-3.
Ozzie Albies homer drove.
That was my green tee shot night, so I don't remember it well.
Honestly, Phil's performance at the Jersey Shore gave me hope for the season because I'm like, it's all coming up meek Phil right now, and he's a Mets fan. So Phil, you brought me back in the season, you sick bastard.
Yeah.
The fucking 8 green tee shot night. All right.
I have a positive stat going into tonight. I'm not sure if it means anything. DeGrom, the Rangers are 1-7 in DeGrom's last 8 starts.
Oh my God.
1-6 in his last 7. He's gone 5 innings in pretty much all of them. So they've been limiting the innings.
He is going to pitch 8 innings tonight.
Exactly that. That's the what tells you that.
He'll be like 60 pitches through 8. It's gonna be a mow show. He's just gonna mow us down, bro.
He's gonna ask for the ball in the 6th inning if Bochy tries to take him out.
Yeah.
At some point, you say, is DeGrom the problem? Like, how many teams does he have to go on that just don't win games for him? Or it's like, are you the problem?
They won the World Series with him on the IL.
No,
They're 14
give up, bro.
2.78 ERA, 14-13 in the starts.
That's crazy.
This will be the least painful shove it down our throat game, though. If Jake's gonna do it, I want Jake to do it, right?
I can't tell if it's because I'm an old man, like I just said, and like I put distance to myself, or if there's just a weird acceptance. Or it's some combination of both, but like September 2007, almost like a piece of me died. And I think this one, I'll just be like, that sucked, man. That was brutal. I don't know. Like maybe, are you ready to like die, Meek? I don't know.
Well, 2024 was the season where a slow start still makes you care about baseball throughout the summer. This is a season where I don't care how hot we start. I'm never going to trust anything ever again.
Ever again. That's
like we were 21 games over 500 in the middle of June. We're like hovering around 500 now.
That is the true Mets experience where you can't breathe for 162. Like until there's a clinch, you can't breathe. And like Cohen kind of changed that a little bit, but we're learning now that like anybody is susceptible to that. Any regime in the Mets will play that way. And that's what makes it suck. That's why I want to shorten the season. I don't know. Who cares? It's like this can happen in 100 games. This can happen in 162 games. Whatever. Just fucking make this less of my life. Make me feel like this less.
And the worst part, and not the worst part, but I mean, at least for 3 of us, is you don't even get football to look forward to. Like the Jets look good and they still lose a game that they've lost a million times. The Giants look like the same exact team that they've been for like 4
well,
of the
they
last
are.
years.
I mean, dude, by the way, just a quick side note. We got to do something or just adjust our like lives as football fans when it comes to kicking field goals. Cause dude just banged a 60-yarder like it was nothing. Yeah. Like I'm sitting there, I was at the game and I was like, listen, if somebody hits a 60-yarder, like you just tip your cap and shake their hand. And he put it through the uprights like it was fucking 35 yards. We got to We got to move it. We got to shrink it. We got to do something because 60 being that easy to lose is just like, well, why do we even try to score touchdowns? Let's just kick 80-yard field goals all day long.
Keep the offense fresh and just like first down from the 50, kick the field goal now. We'll get
take the points. Take the points.
Well, with football here, and then there's also baseball. September baseball is here, and the chase for October is in full swing. And the best way to cash in on your baseball IQ is with DraftKings Sportsbook. So you're going for some football, bet some baseball as well. As the stretch drive begins, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with live betting, home run props, odds boosts, and more. Whether you're chasing dingers or jumping in mid-game, there's always action to be had. Never bet on baseball before. It's simple. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. No spreadsheets, just vibes and dingers. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BELIEVE. That's code BELIEVE for new customers. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Boys, I did this last week thanks to DraftKings, and I'm doing it this week. Which team would you like to play in the playoffs if the Mets were to make it?
Any of them.
It doesn't matter which team.
I am abstaining from this. I have learned my lesson about picking teams that I want. Let's play the Phillies. I beat the Phillies every time.
If we are playing a team in the playoffs, it's a good thing because we're in the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't care if it's the Dodgers. I don't care if it's the Cubs. I don't care.
I'd sign up like right now. A game and a half. It's like you can either play this string out and play a regular team in the playoffs, one of the National League teams, or you have to play the American League All-Star team, but you're automatically in. I take the All-Star team in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
An absolute heartbeat. Then the other one, if you have a pitcher, Game 7, everyone's fully rested. Who's starting Game 7 for you right
McLean.
Yeah. Which is sickening. Absolutely sickening.
Let me tell you something.
There's still some part of me that wants to hand the ball to Peterson.
You know, Peterson, I put him as the left because he closed that Brewers game, right? Like, I think he's like that in my dumb brain. One inning, I'm like, oh, he's our closer. He's our like left closer if Diaz isn't there.
You know what I would say about the team I want to play? It sounds crazy. It's almost like the devil, like, let me just play the Phillies.
Yeah.
Like when Trent Grisham was fucking us in the ass on the Padres, I was like, what is this? What's going on here? If the Phillies beat us, like, yeah,
the Brewers beat us down last season.
Yeah.
Leading into the postseason.
Yeah. And even
you get a shot, and you show up, and you're like, oh, it's baseball. They just beat us 4 in a row. So like, what are the odds they're going to win a couple more?
Right.
Well, you really think like if they just make it, it'll feel like a weight gets lifted off. Like they're not fucking thinking that.
I think I think when you like the Phillies.
All over.
Yep. There it is. I think if the Phillies, they're going to win the division by what? How many fucking games? And there's the pressure's on them, even with the injuries and shit. Like, the pressure's on. You got to get the job done this year. If the Mets somehow squeak in, it's like, hey, we did what we came to do at this point. I think that matters. I think teams do shift a little bit that way.
The other thing that matters is we need to have some special, like, first pitch or something like this weekend or something, like, try to recreate Grimace somehow. Like, this is our last home stand.
Is going to be in the stadium watching the alumni game, scouting R.A. Dickey and Cologne to come in for a spot start.
Noah Syndergaard, who was cut by the White Sox like a month ago, is going to be there.
And then I just had to I only saw the one game, right? That's all they're doing. Sprout is fucking nice, man.
Yeah.
So we said McLean is like the smoke show at school that like likes you. Jonah Tong's the girl next door. Sprout is like the chick that's hot. But she's also like smart as shit. She's like fucking like all varsity, all fucking league lacrosse. Like she might have everything. I am in love with the Sprout goat right now. I've fallen head over heels for the Sprout goat.
That's the other X factor is like I'm giving these kids grace and I expect them to falter a little bit, but like what if they don't? We at least have an unknown. We have a question mark that's like they might just rattle off three starts each and win. Could happen. They also could get rocked around. We kind of know for sure what you're getting with Holmes, Manaea, et cetera. So, like, and most teams, I think, are in the same boat where your rotation is your rotation at this point. We, like, just started. We, like, just got a rotation. So, is that a good thing? Probably not. Could it be? I suppose.
Waited till August to get a rotation. Hey, that's
Moneyball
strategy.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I don't know next year. Like you said, Kev, second. I think the thing is, we do have guys who can play second in the minors, right? Like that was the whole thing.
Jet Williams can play second base. The other thing is, Maybe you use these prospects. I don't know, trade for a pitcher or something like.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we need a pitcher. We need to figure center field and second base out, and go for like McNeil could be the super utility man. I'm fine with that, right? But at some point we have to start figuring out. But hope that's for the podcast after the season's over. Hopefully that's later than that. I had this written down, just notes throughout the week. Siri came back, obviously we talked about quickly. Turen's out for a little bit, which I mean, it's like having Sanger in there is just like such a weight.
Our catcher with 2 broken hands is playing 4 games in a row. Like
2 broken hands. By the way, I need someone to do a little deep dive for me because I know I've seen the stat, since whatever date. It's the Nats, the Rockies, the Twins, whatever. Within that like 75, 80 game stretch, how many times, like, what are the good highlights for the Mets? Because I still really feel like if you add up some of their winning streaks, some of their like differentials, some of that shit where they were scoring runs and playing well, like I feel like those other teams are just playing bad the whole fucking way. And even though the Mets are in that crop with them, I'd be willing to bet that some of the stats, some of the numbers, some of the winning streaks in there show that they're more than just that bad. And if I'm wrong, then it's just like, hey, I'm almost happy. It's like, okay, they're just a bad team. But it feels like there will be something different about the Mets and Twins, Nats, and Rockies in that time frame. Somebody figure that out for me. And if I'm wrong, I can totally sleep at night and be like, all right, they're just as bad as the Rockies.
the month of July, they weren't that bad. They were 14-10. They had the 7-game winning streak versus the Angels, the Giants. Took a series from the Brewers, took a series from the Yankees, took a series from the Royals. Like 14-10, good month. That's like 11-17 in August, despite scoring more runs.
But even that,
than anybody.
Looking at how much, like, if you look at what they scored in August, I'm sure it's way more than those other teams. And like some of those things that just show there is deep down underneath all this shit, there is something there. It's just whether or not, like, all I'm asking you to do is shine for like 14 days. That's really it.
Yep. That sweep against the Phillies, it feels like it was like a decade ago, right? And it was half a
They won a series versus the Mariners. They won the Little League Classic.
The Little League Classic, that's right.
They went to Atlanta. They won 2 out of 3. Like, they've had some good moments. It's just these long losing streaks are stacked on top of all of that.
Right.
Yeah, this is like the worst time to have 10 straight games because we're not off till Monday. And then we have one more Monday off, and that's it. So they need to figure it out. I'm choosing to enjoy the games until like the 5th inning, and then I'll decide one way or the other.
It's got to start tonight. We're home. It's got to start somewhere.
Like winning the DeGrom starts, winning the DeGrom start that he doesn't want us to win would be kind of ironic, right? Like, I'm just trying to figure out the spin zones here. Ways to talk. Oh, by the way, we finally, like, we don't even have the McGill button to push either, where it's like
no, because he's made Tommy John now.
Like anyone ever pushes the McGill button, but we can't even if we wanted to.
Like, I would take 5 innings, 2 runs from a starter right now. Like,
what's Senga doing down in the minors? Did he figure it out?
He makes his first start tomorrow, I think.
Okay, maybe tonight, you know what? Maybe he gets down there and gets a little bit of the magic that all the young rookies had. Somebody down there knows what they're doing.
How good does Senga have to be in this minor league start for you to be like, okay, starting versus the Nats next week?
He just has to be healthy on the mound. That's it.
I was gonna say not that much.
That's it.
Not that much.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
I suppose you have to believe.